I think The Rock is universally liked all across the world.
Yeah.
So I think doing anything with Rock at this point for WWE is a win-win for both of them.
The final note we got to touch on, Dutch, Kev, is one of the bigger news over the weekend is who WWE is internally discussing for the winner of next year's Royal Rumble. Actually, just in 1 month's time now, Royal Rumble has been internally discussed, according to Wrestling Observer newsletter, that The Rock is being rumored to be a surprise entrant in the Royal Rumble and to win the Royal Rumble as the number 30 entrant to go on to face Roman Reigns at WrestleMania 39. The things that are being discussed is if The Rock is going to be available for not just WrestleMania, but for 2 dates, if they're going to make that possible. And really, this is kind of the easy fix for what seems like it's going to be an issue as we grow closer to the men's Royal Rumble, is who wins. And if The Rock is available at WrestleMania, but not the Royal Rumble, if you do Roman versus Rock, how does someone win the men's Royal Rumble and have a championship matchup at WrestleMania if you want to do Roman versus Rock? So, Dutch,
a lot to deal with there, Dutch. There's a lot of money on the line.
What do you think they should do?
Wait a minute, let me make a call. Hey, Triple. Hey, man, you talk to yourself. But that is a good. Well, this is a good thing about it. Right now, they got fans talking.
Yeah,
and that would be a great matchup, and I think they can negotiate this down. I think that's the best choice they can make with The Rock, because he's the hottest movie star in the business. And look where that puts the WWE name. It's going to put them everywhere. I think that's probably, I don't know where this idea came from, but if it came from inside, it'll be a record pay-per-view for them. And it's 2 nights, right?
Yes. 2 nights in Los Angeles, SoFi Stadium, in the, right next to Hollywood, The Rock. It kind of writes itself, him versus Reigns.
It does. It writes itself. So I think a great idea. And how can they do it? Well, I don't know the ins and outs of it, but if it can be done, WWE can get it done. And I think The Rock wants to do it.
Yeah. He's gone on record and said he wants to do it.
Yeah, of course he wants to do it because, I first met Rock when he was 3 years old. He was in Nashville, Tennessee, staying at a pay-by-the-week motel. And him and Rocky, his dad, they were right down the hall from me. And I see him at his little playground. So that's how far I go back with The Rock. But I would actually take this pay-per-view just to see what they would do. I don't take pay-per-views usually. I just listen to people talking about it. But I think if The Rock wants to do it and the WWE wants him to do it, I don't think there's any problem with it.
Kev,
there's a lot of logistics when you're dealing with the biggest movie star in the world, but the word is that he doesn't have that type of schedule. He's launching the XFL in the spring. He's going to need more eyeballs on everything that The Rock does. He bought this from Vince McMahon, who's no longer with WWE, but obviously the biggest shareholder. And it makes sense. Everything kind of lines up for him to do this now and for him to be part of WWE for this run to WrestleMania this year.
What did he block from WWE? XFL?
Yeah.
So Vince McMahon owned Alpha Entertainment, his separate company. They did some subcontracting reportedly with WWE people to promote XFL. It got shut down by the pandemic. And then The Rock came in with his own financial group and they bought the XFL, which has distribution and all these different things. And that launches in the spring of 2023. They're going to do, non-NFL pro football on television. It comes out like relatively a month after WrestleMania, around that time. This lines up with the same pattern he did 10 years ago when he came back to WWE and did that big match with Cena at WrestleMania. He was doing Fast and the Furious. He was trying to get his fan base back. He was galvanizing his fan base back into what he does. On top of it, he's an even bigger superstar than he's ever been. with the movies he's lined up, the Disney stuff, you know, everything. So, and also I think he really only wants to wrestle a handful of other big things if he can do it. This is one of the biggest things he can do. If he only wrestles one more match, this is the one he has to wrestle, right? And do you think it's a bad idea to make him the winner of the Royal Rumble? Do you need to have him win the Royal Rumble to set up WrestleMania, Dutch?
I think it'd be a great idea. The thing about wrestling is, hey, if you F it up, guess what? You got 51 more weeks of the year to fix it. There's no such thing as really effing it up unless it's right on top of you. But still, they are still gain the goodwill from doing that. I think The Rock is a can't miss. I mean, if you take, like we were talking about, the biggest movie star in the world and one of the biggest stars WWE has ever had. And The Rock, the people like The Rock. Because he does stuff. He gave a guy a truck. The guy, he's always down on his luck. I don't know when this happened. I just read about it. But he gave him his truck or bought him a truck. And then, you know, the Harvey Weinstein guy, what was his name? The manager he had in Memphis.
Harvey Whippleman.
Harvey Whippleman, yeah.
He got him a truck. But things
Downtown
like
Bruno.
that, things like
Yes,
that,
Downtown Bruno.
when it's reported, they make The Rock look like a really good guy. So, and he's talking about running for president. I mean, I think The Rock is universally liked all across the world.
Yeah.
So I think doing anything with Rock at this point for WWE is a win-win for both of them.